Überblick ist der Mittelbegleiter in Kirmesreich.
So there's the train station, and here's my entry down through the water. I can get down here easily with my trolley. I could also go down the steps, but that's actually harder. So. Have a look at this place. It's just so nice. And this is one of the nice things about adventure paddling, that if you want to, you can be completely on your own. It's absolutely amazing. And it's really peaceful. And there are a few mosquitoes, but and in this dry bag I normally have my small pump, travel pump. But I've been having a few health issues lately, and my lovely wife bought me an electric pump to help me out a bit. So for my birthday. So this is the first time using this. I'm sure it works. But when my health gets better, I probably won't be using it anymore. But it's a good thing to use at the moment. The other thing that I had in my here is fins. I've got 2 fins. Always have a spare fin. If you're going to be going further, you're going to be somewhere where it's you could be breaking a fin. You can break a fin while carrying your board. You drop it and the fin's broke, and you're stranded. You know, and especially if there's no way to get out and you have to walk or get an Uber or something. So if you check this out here. Yes, we have low water. So I'm got a solution to this, because I'm going out onto the Rhine it's about 43 kilometers today. The first 6 kilometers are on this backwater, and I have this fin here, which is from Intal fins, and it's a river fin. When you hit something, it goes down like this. You tend to avoid doing the Superman. Normally, I would put my river fin on here, and then when I go out onto the Rhine, I would change my fin. But this is not necessary anymore, because they have now got this new version, which is a touring fin, which is almost a bigger area as a normal touring fin, and on the river with flow. We're not looking for perfect efficiency. It's just about a little bit of stability and a normal fin feeling. So this is pretty cool. So pleasantly surprised. Pumped my board up in about 9 minutes to 15 psi, and wasn't that loud. I thought it was really silent, but then it kicked into the second mode and went drrr. But it's cool. I'm happy with it. I'm not really a fan of electric pumps, but I kind of have to use one at the moment. So leash and hip belt. So I have here the rescue belt from Palm, which can be released. There are 2 ways of releasing it. I can release the whole belt at the front here, and then I can just release the leash here, which I attach with a with a proper screw carabiner, because if you just put your leash in here, it's quite easy for it to catch because it's rubbing against, and this slides much better. This is really nice for touring because you can just clip it off and get off your board and keep everything on you, and you don't have to muck about with the leash and everything. So as I said, I can release it twice. I can release the whole thing, or I can release just the leash. That's important because I have other equipment on here. Have my rest tube, which is the PFD version, and I have my mobile in here. This is like a safety factor because, yeah, if I release my board and I'm somewhere and I let my mobile go, or it's in my bag, yeah, I haven't got anything with me, so my mobile is always with me. I have this waterproof case here, which is also on a lanyard, because yeah, there's no point in having a waterproof phone if it's at the bottom of the river or the lake. So that's my concept for being on the river and being safe and being able to take photos and stuff. It's just so something that I've actually had this sewn on here. My favorite neighbor did it for me, which was pretty nice. I'm not sure if it's allowed, but it's the way I do things, and I find it's up to now. This has been the best solution that I've. So this is what the trolley looks like when it's folded. It goes down pretty small. I can take the wheels off if I want to, but I tend to leave them on because it's too complicated, and this is just the easiest way to do it. I put the wheels on the top, on the front here, because if I turn them around and put them around the back, it will go down the side and actually drag in the water, and it's more of an entrapment risk. So this is like keeping as much clean deck as possible, but obviously on a SUP it's a different situation. This is then strapped down with my other dry bag that goes on the back. It'll be strapped down here, and everything's pretty clean. I don't use the bungees for securing equipment. I will use it to put a t-shirt underneath, or my hat or something like that, but for essential equipment it's going to end up in the water with bungees. They're not strong enough. This is my rucksack solution, which is on the front of the board. Ultimate access. It's right in front of me. I can get to anything I want to, which is also my day pack for when I'm doing multi-day trips. So everything, most of the time, things are here that I need for the day. This is pretty cool because I've got these. I've got these special clips from the same company that does the rucksack, and I can clip these off and get the rucksack off really quick and get somewhere I want to go shopping. And also I put them through my water bottles, so the water bottles are actually secured, which, as we all know, on rough water, wind, forgot to put it in properly and all that stuff. Yeah, that's pretty cool because I think all of us at some point have lost a bottle, and we don't want to do that. In my rucksack I have first of all one small dry bag with electronics, my tablet, my spare batteries and spare mobile, which I think is important when you're going on long journeys. You can also always, something can happen with your mobile, and it can just be an old one that you can just telephone. You can just dial 999 with. One more dry bag with spare clothes. It's 30 degrees today, but if I'm coming home late, fall in the water, and it's getting a bit colder, it's always good to have spare clothing with you. Always have my first aid kit with everything that I could possibly need, apart from up to a certain point, because we're actually adventuring, and you can fall down steps, you can fall in the water, fall on a stone, and it's good to be able to do the first aid first and then call the ambulance. Got my kit with valve pump and all the tools that I need. Spare cartridge for the PFD, glue and patch kit and all that stuff that you need, and a spare fin screw, always important. They can break. And otherwise I've got a little bit of food. Don't need much food today. I'm only going for about 4 hours. And my money and keys and all that stuff. This is all in these side pockets, which is pretty cool. So I'm really pleased with that, because I had lots of different rucksacks and lots of different places, and this is just the absolute ultimate that just makes me smile every time I use it. One little thing that is very relevant, especially when the weather gets colder, you probably notice that the rucksack is round the other way, and this means that when you're having water on the board and the back side of the rucksack is getting wet, but here it isn't. So getting in somewhere, it's getting a bit colder in the evening, and you want to go and go shopping, and you haven't got a wet back, because well, most of the time. So that's a big plus. These are the shoes that I use from Job. They let the water through. The water comes out the side, water goes in, water comes out, so you don't have that sloshy feeling when you're walking around in water. They're pretty cool, and they dry fast. And these, I had these on for the 1,000-kilometer Rhine trip, and they look like new. You know, you can rely on them. They're pretty cool. I normally put these here under the bungees. One of the times when I use the bungees, if I'm on a big trip, I will actually fix carabiners to the back, so that they're always safe, because yeah, it's not much fun when you lose your shoes. Talk to Craig Sawyer about that. He knows, he can tell you to stories. So board's ready to go, everything packed up, and this is my solution. I use the Insta360 X4 to film my trips, which is beautiful because you can just film and edit later. And this is the way I am fixing it to the board at the moment. Looking for a better way to do it, because it does wobble around a bit, and I'd like to put it up a little bit higher, but if I put it on a selfie stick, it's too wobbly. So looking for a solution to that, but it works well like this. Yep, that's very shallow water. So I'm ready to go here. Board's all set up and ready to go over down this side arm down to the Rhine. So this should be fun. Trying to get into the water, and until I get to the middle, the water's only about 10 centimeters deep. So what I'd do is grab the back handle, slip the nose into the water. That easy. I'm going barefoot because if I went in my shoes, they would just be covered in mud anyway. And because I've got my river fin, water's about 15 centimeters here, and I can actually get about to here, and then I can just paddle out, which I would not be able to do with a normal fin. I'll probably have to go right up there, so try and get onto the board without getting too dirty. I can feel the fin scratching, but it's not catching. Pretty cool. And you have to hear there's a little bit of current. Now, easy, no stress. Water's about 60, 70 centimeters deep. It's about 1 meter lower than it normally is. Going through here, lots of weeds, lots of wood in the water. I'm really glad I've got my river fin. It would feel a lot more stressful otherwise. As you can see here, there are lots of trees, tree stumps, trees that have fallen in the water.
Okay, let's go.